No, from the top.
Oh, sorry.
Good morning. I'm Marian LaSalle, and this is my co-host, Russ Johns. And today we have a fantastic guest, Chris West. And this is Future Media Association. And you can visit us on our website, futuremediaassociation.com. We have a lot of events going on online, and we also have something in Houston where we have a guest trainer every single month. And guess what February is? Our very special guest today, Chris West, will be coming in training on what's working in his business. There you go.
Fantastic.
I know.
Hey,
So good morning, everybody.
It's been a while, and I love to always catch up with you when we have the opportunity to do so.
Definitely.
You've been staying busy in the corporate world, going out and training everybody on social media. And, like Marian said, we're talking about marketing ideas that work. And we'd like to hear from you about some of the things your audience, your community has been looking for, starving for. What kind of training have you been really focused on as it relates to marketing and building a following or an influence in the market? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So basically what I do is do a lot of training for corporations across the US and also like organizations that they have a team of people or they're just an individual department and they want to know more about just social media and what really works. Because the biggest problem that I see these days is the fact that most of these organizations, they don't have they're not focused on social media or online marketing. It's more like they've been doing a certain job. Maybe they're an advertising manager or they're in copywriting, and then their manager comes up to them and they say, "Hey, we need you to be the social media person." Right. So, and then then like, at what point, where do you go from there? So that's most of the teams that I help train, it's people that are trying to figure out what is the best way to manage all the time. All right. And I think that's a big need in the industry right now. It's like, do you get on a scheduler like that schedules out posts on social media? And what really benefits like the return on investment as far as like,
right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning that because we could stay busy on social media, right?
Yeah.
Lost down a rabbit hole every single hour.
Yeah. That's the problem. It's like their upper management sales team, they want to know, okay, if we spend 10 hours, 20 hours a week on this, or if we hire somebody on a short-term basis, what will be the return on investment? So, but I really think what's growing too is a search engine optimization. Like that's an easy way to calculate your ROI because let's say, for instance, you are trying to rank high for certain keywords, right? So I always tell these audiences to pick about 5 to 10 keyword phrases that you would like to rank high for on Google, Yahoo, or Bing. So let's say, for instance, if you rank if you get to the first page for that, you're able to actually see with Google Analytics how many people searched that keyword to find you. So it all comes down to like using your tracking tools with social media and then also search optimization. So finding the ROI. So say, for instance, you're posting on social media, you're posting on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. You're trying to figure out which one is the best social media platform for you. Mm-hmm. Well, you can go to your you can post the same amount and you can go to the analytics and you can say, all right, the people that came from Facebook or the people that came from YouTube, they spend X amount of time on my website, or they went through 3 or 4 pages on my website and actually took actionable results. So that's where it's moving is a return, like finding out specifically what's going on. Because some organization, what they do right now, maybe they post a couple times a week, on Facebook, and then they think that's working, but how do you know if it's working or not? So I think make it managing.
Yeah, so I want to make sure that we're clear on this because there's a lot of confusion around it, and some of the tactics that Marian and I as web developers have really struggled with customers and clients is this idea of SEO and what it actually means. And I know that Google's algorithms have changed, and there's a lot of focus this year on quality content development. That organic shares, the ability to really bubble up on the content itself, and videos being video being one of those things that they're looking at. Facebook just launched their video platform on the mobile iOS devices. It's streaming. And so how is that going to develop SEO, or where do you see that in ways of measuring SEO? How do we look at SEO now today versus a year ago or 2 years ago? Is it changed, or is it?
Yeah, so the crazy part about it is, so many organizations, they think that everything's different, but if you notice, things really intertwine together. So, for instance, like the same things you're going to be doing to rank high on your website, you're going to be doing to rank high on LinkedIn, for instance. So, a quick example: if you're on your LinkedIn, if you're a professional that wants to, if you're a salesperson, recruiter, or if you have any reason to want to be able to be found on LinkedIn or be searched, all right, you're going to want to put as many type of keywords within your title under your name, right? So that's kind of considered search engine optimization, even though it's on social media and it's on like the content that you're writing. So everything is really intertwined with all the content that you're doing, whether it's on social media or whether it's on your actual website, or especially if you're writing any type of articles as well. So I think now it's moving towards where things are moving together, instead of being like how a year or two ago where it was like, all right, you're doing search optimization, or you're doing social media marketing, it's completely different. Or, I mean, I feel like the only thing that's probably still really distant and different is the pay-per-click advertising, which is when you're searching on Google and you have the ads on the right-hand side and on the upper, like the
So if I hear you correctly, Chris.
Yes, please translate that.
A keyword is a keyword is a keyword, regardless of the platform, right? I mean, you have to optimize your content on any platform in order to increase your SEO. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes.
Simple as that.
Yes, and to be more specific,
we're done.
No, how do you use? No, you can't gloss over it like that. You have to break it down for us.
Yeah.
How do we use those keywords? What is it in? You can't just throw keywords out there, right?
Yeah. So let me go into a little bit more detail.
Thank you.
Let's say let's say I have a software company in Houston, Texas. All right, so I would like to rank high for the keyword software company, right? Mm-hmm. Or IT company. All right, but the problem is there's so many different other companies. There's so many larger like corporations that are probably going to be on the first page. Or a better example, let's say for instance I have a athletic shoe store in Houston, and I want to, whenever people type in basketball shoes in Google, I want to come up. But what the problem is, if we were to type in basketball shoes in Google right now, who would pop up?
Zappos.
Yeah, Zappos. Anybody else? Like a Nike, probably, right?
Yeah, Nike.
Yeah. So they're already going to pop up because guess what? They've been around on the search. They've been around on the web for years and years. They have an advertising budget. People are sharing their website, their articles. So they pretty much have a really good presence online. So what I'm going to do, if I own an athletic shoe store, I'm going to tell myself, you know what? I'm going to try to rank high for more of the keywords that are more detailed and long. So I want to rank high for the keyword term athletic shoe store in Houston, Texas, because I know that the competition will be so much lower than me trying to rank high for basketball shoes. So if you notice that all these keywords, like the term keyword it's really a keyword phrase, like, okay, athletic shoe store in Houston or athletic store in Houston, Texas. So from there, once I find out my keywords, like my 5 to 10 keywords, then whenever I write an article, that's when I can start putting those keywords within my title of my article, or I can start putting those keywords within my paragraphs of when I'm writing the articles as well. And also on LinkedIn, for instance, I'm putting those type of keywords on my summary, my profile, my business page. So it all starts going together in one, because you're using it all around the web. That can eventually increase your rankings in your social media presence.
Okay, here comes the translator.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, ready?
Yep.
So for those of you who don't even know what SEO means, thanks, Russ. He's doing a tweet, and that's why it's all a GIF, you know. I was teaching Steve Baker what GIFs are the other day. He's doing one right now, Steve. He's putting it on Twitter. So for those of you who don't even know what SEO really is, what he's talking about is using the words in your business that are going to that people are going to start typing into Google to find you. So if they go on their computer and they want to find you, he's saying instead of using one or two words that are probably taken by the big guys, that you're going to use a longer sentence, right? You're going to use a phrase. So he used the example of athletic shoes in Houston, Texas. Well, somebody might type that in. So you would be found before Nike and before Zappos. Is that a good explanation, Chris?
Yeah, if it's a longer keyword, yep.
Yeah, and what's even more relevant, and the thing that I really like to hone in on or think about is look at what people are searching for. Look at what they're actually searching for your product.
That's what Carmen just said in the comments. She's like, you don't. They might not be searching for what you think they're searching for to find you.
Exactly. So, are there any tools that we can use to find out what people are searching for? Because I mean, like when you search in Google and you start typing a term or a search phrase, Google tries to figure out what you're searching for. So those are also things that people are searching for that are high, right?
Yeah, so that's a good point to bring up, because you can use that as well. If you see that, if you go on the bottom when you search for something on Google, you scroll to the bottom, there's usually a list of other similar search terms, right? So you can use those as different keywords because you know that other people are searching that. But specifically, the tool that I usually use is called the Google AdWords Keyword Planner. So Google AdWords Keyword Planner.
The Google
AdWords.
Are you typing that in for us, Russ? Uh-oh, I think we lost Russ for a second.
Oh, really? It's the internet, or?
I don't know. He's gone, but he'll come back.
All right.
You know how it is.
Yeah, the Google AdWords Keyword Planner. What that does is it'll tell you exactly how many times a given keyword is searched. Because just like we said, just like the commenter said, we think we have an idea as a business or a manager or of a team. It's like we have a understanding of what people might search for, but if you use this tool, it'll tell you that hey, there's 800 searches for like flower delivery or like software company or things like that. So there's more. So it'll tell you exactly that how many people are searching for.
Okay, so wait a minute, Chris, before you go on, I want to make sure I got this right. Google Keyword
Planner.
And that's what people look for. They go to www.google Keyword Planner.
Well, you would type it into Google, and then it'll be the first one or first two. I don't have the exact address right now, but that's what it's called.
Okay. That's all right. I'm going to put that in there. Okay, good.
Carmen placed it in the sidebar too for everyone.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Yeah, Google AdWords Keyword Planner, God's gift to digital marketing. Boom. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, it definitely gives you other ideas too that you wouldn't have thought of. So whenever I do this, whenever I'm doing workshops and everything, we do a search term, maybe like flower delivery or shoes, and we always get so many different terms that we didn't even think of before that you can now use because for certain other people are searching for it. Because remember, as marketing managers, or you have your own business or you have a team or whatever, we want to save time, as much time as possible. So you want to use these tools first, all these free tools out there, and then make sure that you're on the right track in the beginning so you can get better results.
Monty Henry asked you, show us an example of how your website ranks now using keywords you've chosen. I'm assuming you have very good organic listing.
One of the clients,
we can't do screenshots here.
Can't do screenshots.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. So I mean, if you type in, I would say San Antonio printing, there's a couple people that that I've gave advice to in the the past 6 months. So San Antonio printing, like there's a printing company in San Antonio. They're number 2 or 3 right now. You know, so, and then you can see exactly what I told them to do as far as like the title, like the description and the title and things like that. So it give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So that's an example right there.
Okay, so what you're saying is you put these keywords into your content that you're writing. So articles, your website, in your LinkedIn. When you type in a post, you're supposed to be using these phrases and these keyword sentences with your keywords in them, right? In everything that you're doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything. Yeah, remember, once you choose those 5 to 10 word like phrases that you feel that, or that you've researched that rank high, then you'll know exactly what's going on, and then you can start using that in your content over the web, so you can get better results.
Fantastic.
So what would you? I know myself, you know, being the being a nerd in the herd, that, you know, I have several websites and we go back and forth all the time. I don't spend a lot of time on like search optimization like I need to, you know, and Monty pointed out, what's on your website? Well, on my website, I've done very little because, you know, I send people and say, hey, just search Russ Johns, and, you know, I do come up and people can connect with me. It's not a search term. I'm not searching for anything specific. You know, what do you recommend for clients in terms of spending time and effort versus the return on that? You know, since we're talking about marketing that works, because,
yeah,
I mean, you know, converting from your website, not everybody converts from their website, right?
True. Yep.
So can you speak a little bit about your recommendations on how that fits in the corporate world and what you've seen and experienced?
Okay. Well, so I think it definitely, what I tell people, organizations, whenever I do these things, it's you never want to try to sit there and sign up for all these social media platforms and then do everything, you know, like sign up for 6 social media. Well, like try to be active on 6 social media platforms, and then like be active on search automation, because at the end of the day, we all know that each of these activities can be a full-time job, right? So you only have so much time to go from. So what you're going to do is you're going to find out what's you maybe figure out your target market. So your target market, finding out that, and then from there, is your target market on that platform? All right, you're just talking about on that? Is it on LinkedIn? Is it Facebook? Is it B2B? Is it B2C? I mean, business to consumer? Is it business to business? Things like that. And As far as like a search optimization, you want it to, if you have something on your site where you think about, how do people purchase from your company? What do they do? Like if they wanted to purchase something from your business, what would they do? You know, would they go on Google? Would they go to your website? Would they go to your Facebook? You know, would they go to YouTube? So there's a statistic that says 97% of consumers search online before they go to their brick and mortar business or they go to online business. So think about, that's what I always ask all these people that I like whenever I get this question is like, so how do people how do people become your customers? If your customers become customers by clicking on a form on your website or calling you from a number that's on your website, then most likely you want to pay a little bit more attention, you know, to getting people to see your website. Or is it what kind of customers are you getting? Are you trying to get new customers that are local or that are in a different area? So all these things will give you an idea of if you want to spend time on certain areas or not.
Do you ever come across this opportunity where the business owner has no idea who their target market is?
I was just thinking that. How do we find out where our people are?
It's like, who's your target market? I'm not really sure how I can describe who our target market is.
Oh, you know what? That is true. You know, I don't come across that a lot because I do work with so many the marketing advertising managers. They already got to have or corporate.
Yeah.
They already have an idea. But yeah, that is a good question. You know, how do they find out? Well, I would say they would write down it's the buyer persona. You know, it's called a buyer persona or a marketing persona, where they would write down exactly what their who they want to buy their product, like what their age range is, what their income is, how would they like to receive email or paper mail? You know, what do they do? Things like that. Just writing down a buyer persona of exactly who that person, their ideal client is, or the ideal customer. That's where they
surveys.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, that's definitely surveys as well. Survey Monkey and all those tools as well. That's there's ways, you know.
Well, and those are the things that we all have to think about in our marketing efforts. It's like, okay, let's find out how we can actually target our the person we want to have that conversation with, because ultimately it still becomes a conversation when we close business, unless we're completely online, you know, and we don't have to talk to anybody in order to process our orders. A lot of us in the real world today that are struggling, or trying to find that magic sauce that makes it go really fast is how do I get that connection? How do I connect with the person that really wants to pull their wallet out and invest in what I have?
Yep. That's the truth. You know, it's like, and I would say as well, it's like so recently I've been doing like the all day workshops on only analytics. You know, like it might be hard to believe, but Google.
No, that's good, because most people are afraid of analytics. They really are.
Yeah, Google Analytics. I do an all day or 2
They don't understand it. They don't know how to find it.
Yep.
They don't know how to read it.
Yep.
So that's good.
Google Analytics tool.
You know what? If you want to do that for your class here in Houston,
sure,
at the Future Media Association, we would love that. No one has ever done a class on how to get your analytics and how to read it.
Sure, because I mean that's the next thing. That's as far as based on. I mean, we're talking about new things that are happening, right? Or things that people need to step up. That's where you're going to find all this useful data for free. I mean, you're gonna find where people are finding your website. Are they in a different city? Are they in a different state? If you find out that, hey, I'm getting 500 visitors from Phoenix, Arizona, maybe we should do some marketing on which to spend more of our advertising dollars on there in the city, right? I mean, you can find out what is the last page people saw before they left the site. All right, so they came to your site, they went through all these pages. At what point did they leave?
Right.
That's all key information that you can find out when it comes to analytics. So I really think there needs to be more of more knowledge or more education, more finding out more about what their analytics is telling them. Because even right now, like if you go to once you're using these tools, you can find out what is your most active social media platform. You know, is it Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter?
Right.
Good. So Google Plus. So you can see all that in analytics and find out. Okay.
If I'm spending a lot of time on Twitter and it does me no good, it's not really giving me results. Why am I doing it? Right?
Yeah. You know, it's basic. Are people on Twitter coming to your website? Are they clicking on your link and coming to your website and doing the action that you want them to take?
I want to remind everybody, Chris West is one of the authors in our book, Lone Star Media Leaders. We're talking about marketing ideas that work. And Chris has been kind enough to take the time out of his busy schedule to be here. And I want to make sure that you know how to get a hold of Chris. He's a corporate trainer. He's very educated, a former Google employee, as I recall. And he's totally aware of what needs to take place in the analytics world, SEO, and some of those things that businesses really need to think about today. You know,
I put it in the sidebar how to get a hold of Chris and how.
I mean, everybody's searching on mobile now. You know, 70% of the searches I think are mobile, and so there's some things that you need to be aware of as it relates to marketing effort that Chris can help you out with. So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware that his skill set is deep and very very knowledgeable. So thank you so much for being here, Chris. I really appreciate it.
No problem. It's like I said, LinkedIn or website or the book or Twitter. So I have my information everywhere. So feel free to ask any questions that you need.
That's what I tell. Track me down on Twitter or follow me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a social media question, Chris.
Yes.
Somebody connects with me, or I accept somebody's invitation, and I go and look at their information, or the response I get is, follow me over here. So they ask me to come to Twitter and follow them there. And then the response I get back is, follow me over here at a different place, like, I don't know, Facebook or G Plus or wherever they are. Isn't that kind of odd? That doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah, people don't like that stuff. It's like those automated messages. It's like, if you're gonna send a message, make sure you're the one sending it. It's like, I mean, you could say, hey, here's my website, but it's like people follow you on each social platform. You want people to follow you on each social media platform for a reason. So if you're posting the same things, on each of them, it's not gonna do it. But at the same time, it's like, if they came to Twitter, you want them to like see what you have on Twitter, not okay,
Right.
come. It's like,
Yeah.
wouldn't recommend it.
I just thought that was really weird. You wanted me to follow you on Twitter, and now all of a sudden, oh, this isn't good enough. Come over here and follow me over on LinkedIn. I was like, okay.
However, I've seen good. I've seen a strategy that works, and it's they message me in Twitter. They direct message me after we connect. They say, hey, would you like to schedule time to have a conversation about this subject? And if it's of interest to me, they say, click on here and schedule time. And I've had some great conversations and actually developed business as a result of having conversations directly from Twitter. And so, I want to remind people that social is just a way to start a conversation. It's like going out to a networking event. You may meet somebody, you may meet them and never do anything with them. You may meet them and follow up and become best friends. You don't know unless you put the effort into it. So, social media is only a tool. It's a channel. It's a way to distribution. It's not the end result. So, I can have 10,000 followers, and if I don't do anything with these followers, or they don't convert to my website, or they never buy anything, what's the true value? What's the ROI for me on having numbers? So I just want to remind everybody. That's my rant. I'll get off.
Okay, I don't have a rant, but I do have something I want you to notice. Blab now has a map of where everybody is. So if you look up in the top right-hand corner of the screen right now, you're going to see that the green dots are us, and the purple dots are people that are in our audience all over the world. There's people that are just in California, and who knows, it looks like, I don't know, someplace in Africa maybe. I don't know. Isn't it great? It's fantastic. I love that there's no barriers anymore. There's no borders. But we need to know where these people are if we're going to be asking them to be our customer, right? We want to reach them where they are, not where we are.
Yeah.
It's not about us. It's about them. Correct?
What? It's not about me?
No, it's not about you.
Come on. It's all about me, right?
So any last nuggets of knowledge, Chris, that you can drop a bomb in the room for us?
Oh, yeah.
It's really working. What are your thoughts about streaming video?
Well, video is really getting big because there's over 50% of like new marketers that are trying to really focus on video. And people, I do these seminars and it's like, I always say, okay, what platform do you want the most help on? And they never hardly anybody say YouTube. But if you think about it, now if you type into Google, do you ever see a video pop up?
Yeah.
You see a video pop up, right?
Yeah.
You see a video or a YouTube video pop up. That means that now you can rank on the first page of Google just by having a video, and just by putting those same keywords that we talked about in the title of your YouTube channel. I mean, in the title of your YouTube video and in the description of your YouTube video too. And then as well as having links to your other your like Twitter, Facebook in your link in your description of your YouTube channel. So yeah, it's all that's probably another interview, like YouTube how to do good.
Yeah,
on YouTube. But yeah,
exactly.
we'll definitely have you back as long as you're available. We would love to have a conversation. So I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to share this information. We want to bring value to the market and the media and everybody that's joining us here in this session today. So, Chris,
Well,
appreciate
we're
it.
going to be closing out. We'll be turning the recording off here in a second. But before we do, I want to remind you that you can find us on futuremediaassociation.com. And we have all kinds of online events as well as an event here in the Houston area if you're anywhere near us. So look us up, futuremediaassociation.com. And next month in February, Chris is going to be coming in and giving us a class on analytics, how to read them, how to get them, where to find them, and what to do with them once you do find them, right? So be sure and join us. It's futuremediaassociation.com. It's only $5 a month, and you get so much value. You get training videos, you get live events, online events, like tonight. Tonight at 8 p.m., if all you do is go in and sign up, it's for late night Q&A, and you can join us. Up to 50 people in the room can join us every Tuesday night. So be sure and sign up for that. I also want to remind you that Russ and I help people get their own show, just like we're doing here today, and it's live on your website. If you were to go to our website right now, futuremediaassociation.com, you can see this blab live right on our website. So everything that you see on the sidebar is going straight to Google. It's like opening a channel that you can talk to Google. Isn't that cool? So be sure and join us, and we appreciate you being here. Bye for now.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, thanks.
Marion. Have a great day.